Welcome to the deep dive, where today we are taking a deep dive into AI chatbots.
Okay.
But not just any chatbots. We're
Right.
talking about AI chatbots for small businesses.
Right.
You've sent over some really interesting stuff, and I am excited to have you on as the expert to break it all down
Absolutely.
and see how these automated assistants can, save us all from those 2 a.m. customer service emails.
Yeah, no more frantic late night responses to those emails that are like, what time do you close?
Totally.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you ship to, all that stuff.
Exactly. And it's becoming so much more accessible too.
Yeah.
Which is really exciting for small businesses especially.
That's really cool.
Because it used to be something that was only available to these huge companies with tons of reresources, but now it's getting easier and easier.
Yeah, well, that's what's so cool about all this stuff that we've been looking into lately is that it really seems like it's, it's filtering down to the point where even solopreneurs like myself can use it effectively.
Absolutely.
So where do we even begin? Because you sent over this 10-step process, which is a little intimidating. Are we building a rocket? It's just a chat thought.
Right. Well, we want to make sure that it's a good chatbot.
Okay.
And it's kind of like building a house.
Yeah.
We need a really good foundation first.
Good.
So those first couple of steps, consultation needs analysis, are really about understanding, what your business goals are, what your pain points are.
Okay, so it's like therapy, but for my business.
Yeah, kind of like a business therapist.
Okay.
What are the things that keep you up at night? What are your customers always asking?
Right.
And how can a chatbot help you solve those problems?
Okay.
We don't want just a generic, hello, how can I help you chatbot?
Okay.
We want something that's really tailored to your specific needs.
So if you're a restaurant, for instance, it could people could be able to look at the menu and place an order almost.
Exactly. Yeah. Or if you're a hair salon, people can book appointments through the chatbot.
Okay.
So it's really about making it as easy as possible for your customers to interact with your business.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So we've had our therapy session.
Right.
We've cried to the chatbot therapist.
Oh.
Now what?
Now we actually get to build the chatbot.
Okay.
So steps 3 through 5 are all about building the chatbot's brain.
Okay.
This is where we take all that information that we gathered in the first 2 steps and we start creating the chatbot's knowledge base.
So this is really technical stuff, right? I'm imagining ones and zeros and...
Well, there's definitely some technical stuff involved.
Right.
But it's not as complicated as you might think.
Okay.
Basically, we're using something called natural language processing to help the chatbot understand and respond to human language.
Natural language processing, so it's teaching the robots to take over, but in a good way?
Well, not exactly take over, but more like communicate effectively.
Okay.
It's about teaching the chatbot to understand the nuances of human language.
Right.
So it can have more natural and engaging conversations with your customers.
Okay, so once we've got the brain all built,
Right.
then what?
Then it's time to launch this thing.
Okay.
So steps 6 and 7 are all about getting feedback and actually launching the chatbot.
Okay, this is where I feel like I would just set it and forget it.
Well, you could, but you don't want to do that.
Okay.
Because this is where your input is really valuable.
Okay.
You want to make sure that the chatbot is actually reflecting your brand and your voice.
So if my brand is irreverent humor,
Yeah.
the chatbot shouldn't be super serious.
Exactly. Yeah, we want to make sure that the chatbot's personality aligns with your brand.
So what kind of feedback should people be providing at this point?
Think about what you look for when you're interacting with a business online.
Okay.
You want quick responses, a friendly tone. Those are the things that we can fine-tune during this testing phase.
Okay, so it's kind of like sending your kid off to college.
A little bit, yeah.
You've done all this work, but now it's out there in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say things are going great.
Okay.
My chatbot's out there, it's making friends, it's, increasing conversions.
Right.
But then I decide, you know what? We're going to completely revamp the business.
Okay.
We're changing the products, we're changing our target audience.
Right.
Do I have to start this whole process over again?
It's the beauty of this.
Yeah.
The chatbot can evolve along with your business.
Okay.
So steps 8 through 10 are all about the long game.
Okay.
We're talking about ongoing support monitoring and updates.
So this isn't just about fixing glitches or bugs in the system.
Right. It's about making sure that your chatbot stays relevant
Okay.
as your business grows and changes.
So it's almost like having an employee who is constantly learning.
Exactly. Yeah, think of it as your digital employee that's always learning and evolving.
Okay, because the world changes so fast now, especially online, it seems like.
Absolutely. And one of the biggest changes we're seeing is the rise of voice search and voice assistants.
Right.
And your chatbot can be seamlessly integrated into that world.
Which is great for accessibility for people who, you know, maybe can't type as easily or whatever it may be, or just, you know. I know me personally, I'm always using voice search now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's definitely the future.
So it's not just about building a chatbot, it's about building something that is, you know, future-proof, essentially.
Yeah, it's an investment in the future of your business.
Well, this has been incredibly eye-opening. I feel like I've learned a lot. I'm sure that everyone listening has as well.
I hope so.
I have like 50 more questions, but we are out of time, unfortunately.
Of course.
So I'm going to leave our listeners with one final thought, though.
Okay.
If you could build a chatbot for your dream business, what is the one thing that it would do really, really well?
That's a good question.
That's something to think about.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. This has been great.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll catch everyone next time for another deep dive.
Sounds